I was on mute. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time you guys are tuning in on the show. My name is Leticia Campbell. I'm one of the co-founders of the Your Brand, Your Breakthrough, and I'm so excited to join y'all once again for another awesome conversation. My co-host Meiyoko Taylor will be on in just a minute, but I'm so glad again to be on. So if you happen to be tuning in on the replay, that means after the live, go ahead and type in hashtag replay right now so we know that you joined as a replay attendee. And those of you who are coming on live as you guys are rolling in, go ahead and say hello. Go ahead and share this out. Send out a text message, send out a blast, whatever you need to do, because this particular conversation, just like yesterday's conversation, you guys definitely need to go ahead and hear this. So definitely do that. All right. So before we get started, let's go ahead and do a little bit of housekeeping. I want to do a couple of shout outs for a few of you guys who joined in on yesterday's live. You guys was chatting it up. You guys was sharing. You guys was engaging. And that's what this show is all about. It's about getting you guys to conversate, to chat, to engage in all the things. So definitely continue on to doing that same thing today, even if you're watching this on the replay. All right. Even if you're watching this on the replay. All right. Also, before we get started, another housekeeping I want to do is our tour. Our Your Brand, Your Breakthrough tour is coming up in New York on August 16th. If you haven't grabbed your in-person or virtual ticket, make sure you head on over to yourbrandyourbreakthrough.com and go ahead and grab your ticket. We only have 4 in-person seats available, only 4 in-person seats left, not available, left, right? So make sure you go ahead and grab your seat because that will definitely not last long. But if you're also unable to join us in person, again, it's going to be in New York on August 16th. In New York on August 16th. Okay. Make sure you go ahead and grab your virtual ticket so at least you could join in with us virtually. At least you could join in with us virtually. All right. So, as I was going through the notes for today, right, I was like, you know what? We're gonna take our time today with today's topic. The reason being is that this may have to be a part 2. This is going to definitely be very, very detailed. I encourage you guys, especially the replay viewers, to go ahead and grab your pen and paper, right? Take some notes, take some actionable notes. So I find that we love, especially as women. I don't know if this is a man thing because I'm not a male, but this is a female thing. I think we can attend lives. We attend a lot of conferences, workshops, webinars, and we take a whole bunch of notes. How many of y'all are a note taker? Type in 1 in the chat. I'm gonna wait on you guys' answers, but type in the number 1 in the chat if you like to take notes. Okay, I'm gonna wait for y'all to answer. Go ahead and type 1 in the chat if you're a note taker, right? If you're a note taker, okay. Every single month I have a notebook, right? Like I have a notebook here. I love these little simple what they call composition books. I buy a whole bunch of these because y'all know I got 5 kids, and every year my church, we do like backpack giveaways and things like that, and we grab a whole bunch of these in all different colors. I have literally a box of these notebooks, right? But I only have 3 pages left for the month. Only got 3 pages left, right? I'm always taking notes. I can't, I'm 42 years old. I don't remember a lot of things. So I have to write things down. Every single day I use this notebook. Every single day. I actually carry a backpack. A lot of women carry purses. I'm a backpack girl. I have like 4 of these in my backpack, different colors. One I use for my church every Sunday. Another one I use when we have church meetings. I'm on like 10 different committees. I don't know how. Don't ask me. I have another one for hey, Diane. Okay, you're a note taker, right? Go ahead, ladies. Those of you who just hopped on, go ahead, type in 1 if you are a note taker. Teresa's a note taker, right? So a lot of times, right, we take notes and then they just sit in our book. We don't take action. So for today's conversation, I want y'all to not only take notes, but also write down what you're going to act on for what you're going to learn today. Okay. Hey, Meiyoko. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great.
That glare annoys me so much.
I know. Same thing. Once I get my lighting thing going on, it's going to be like, what? All right. Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. Can y'all hear me? All right. I think y'all can hear me good, right? My
Yep, you're
phone.
good.
Whenever I go live, it's just like yesterday. Everybody's calling me. Okay, I'm sorry. I just had a transparent moment. Let me go ahead and put my phone on silent. So before you hopped on today, Miyoko, I was telling them that this is going to be more of like an intensive live. They're going to
Okay.
learn a lot. And I would definitely want them to take notes. And a lot of them on here said that they are actually note takers. And like, so continue on what I was just saying, guys. Write down something you're going to take action on. So as you're writing notes, write down something you're going to take action on. This particular conversation, guys, it may be a part two to this. We have a few talking points, but the first talking point we're going to discuss today, I want to take my time with it. So if we run over time, again, we'll probably continue on with this conversation for next week. Y'all let me know in the chat. Does that sound fair? Yes or no? Maybe so. Let us know if that sounds fair. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. So today's topic that we're going to talk to you guys about on this lovely, beautiful Thursday afternoon, right, is that we're all about thought leadership and leadership, right? But you can't be a thought leader if you are afraid, or if you're afraid to think out loud. You can't be a leader if you're silent, right? Can't be a leader if you're silent. You gotta, be a thought leader, but out loud. People gotta know what you do. They gotta not just know what you do, but how you do what you do. You know what I'm saying, right?
Right.
It's
Right.
like if you're looking for a stylist, like here in Queens, there's tons of hair braiding places, tons African hair braiding, Caribbean hair braiding places, and a lot of times when you are searching for the right place, people want to say, "Well, okay, great, you go there. Why? How they do what they do? Do they do washing sets? Do they do conditioning? It's all that. People are not just going to know what you do, but also how you do what you do, right? And you got to
Right.
say that, but out loud. You got to be vocal about it. People are not going to assume or just, hey, Dr. Carlene, shout out to Dr. Carlene. She just grabbed her ticket for our tour. Shout out to you, love. They got to know how, and that how depends on us. It depends. We got to hold ourselves accountable. Okay, we got to hold ourselves accountable. I was on a call last night, Miyoko, and I wanted to share this with you later. And on that call, there was so many people pointing. It was an entrepreneurial call. There were so
Mhm.
many people pointing fingers, blaming everything that was external, not really looking internal, asking themselves, how can I do things different, and what can I do moving forward? But we could dive into that on another conversation, right? But today is about, you are a thought leader. Everybody who's on here, no matter what industry you're in, you are a thought leader. But that fear keeps you from thinking out loud. So we're going to help you guys with that today. And the number one way to solve that is to think about what content that you can post or talk about, right? That's going to create influence. Because if you're a
Mhm.
thought leader, a leader, entrepreneur, you are an influential person, right?
Absolutely.
You're an influential person. Okay. So are you ready to get started, Miyoko?
Oh, I'm ready. This right here, this topic is up my alley. So let's go.
That's right. So again, we may do a part two because I really want to hone in on this part, which is the three types of content that creates influence. Now, there's more than
Mm,
three. Let me first say there's more than three.
right.
We're just going to dive into three today. And so
Right.
I created this cool little diagram. No, it's not all prettied up and everything.
You got the diagram. All right. So check it out. So guys,
Go ahead.
ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So I
I'm so
I'm
excited.
going to hold myself accountable as the thought leader. So I have this graphic that we made to better help all of you go along with the content, and so you can have something to screenshot you can take with you. So you will not have to look at this one. I literally have a template that kind of goes along with the brand, the personal brand. So
Yes.
my
Yes.
apologies. I actually have that, but I didn't get around to kind of switching it over. So in the future, you're going to see things like this, more strategic, more tactical, and easier for you all to follow along.
Right. So this is just a little filler, something I put together right before here because I don't know about you, Miyoko, but I'm visual. You know what I'm saying? I'm a
Me
visual
too.
learner. I don't know if that's an old school thing. Like instead of you telling me how to do something, I'd rather you show me how to do it. And because a weird way, it just sticks in my brain better. If y'all
Mhm.
here, if that makes sense to you guys watching, go ahead and type two in the chat. if you are visual, because then this lets me, Meiyoko and I know that doing these diagrams is a good idea. Because, you know, we put a lot of work. This is extra bonuses that y'all get for watching the show and everything. And we love you guys to death, right? So 3 types of content that creates influence. As I just said a second ago, there's more than 3, but we're just going to dive into 3 right now. So the first type is conviction content, right? Conviction content. You know, this is where your beliefs take stage, right?
Correct.
Your
Correct.
beliefs take stage. Yesterday we talked about trends, and we shared that how trends, your audience is looking at you, not the top trends, right? But let's just use trends. Let's use trends as an example. So let's say you are a natural herbalistic weight loss strategist or coach. You know, that's something I'm seeing a lot online, where there's a lot of coaches and mentors who are looking for more natural ways to lose weight, like juicing and meditation and all these things. Natural, no chemicals, no none of that stuff. But your audience, when you think of like the trends of weight loss, I don't know if y'all getting these ads. Type in 3 in the chat if you're getting a lot of Ozempic ads. I'm getting a lot of those ads where they're like, hey, inject yourself with this needle and you're gonna lose like 100 pounds in a in a month. And you're seeing all these before and afters. You're like, well, maybe I should just get one of those little shots and inject it in my hip and I'll lose all this weight, right? But you are a natural weight loss strategist. You're like, listen, you're against that. You know, you're looking at all the harmful things it does to our bodies, and you're like, no. So now when you think of conviction content, you're really saying things like, you know what? These are the biggest mistakes with Ozempic. You know what I mean? These are the myths that about Ozempic, or the myths about natural weight loss. So some people think, well, why should I do natural weight loss when I could just take a shot? Take a shot and lose all this weight. You probably should share the reason why it's important to share those things like mistakes or myths and things like that, because that ties into your beliefs. And your beliefs, when people know what you believe in, that does build trust. It builds trust. It helps you build more influence. They respect you more. They know your values. You know, because like me, we're getting all those ads. We're getting all those types of marketing. We're asking ourselves, well, should I go this way or that way? And why should I go your way versus the easy way?
Right. Yep.
What do you think about conviction content, Meiyoko?
I think it's the first line of interaction with your audience, because if I'm looking at somebody, especially from an entrepreneurial perspective, I'm interested in, I'm following their content, one of the first things I ask myself is, what's their story? What's the reason? What's the reason behind why they're doing what they're doing? And if they can articulate that clearly, passion and conviction, then I'm going to follow them. So I'm going to look at all the things that they're starting to post now, because now I see their belief and how strongly they feel about something in their content. That's what we mean by conviction content. We can literally see the belief, the principle, and kind of feel the emotion behind why they're actually doing what they're doing. That's what conviction content is all about. You want to be able to read their content and get inspired by it, right? You want them to actually move. You want to feel an emotion. Conviction content to me is mentally and emotionally stimulating content.
Yes.
You know, it causes me to want to act, to want to do something, to want to be better, to want to eat healthier,
right?
Want to have better relationships, to want to love even better. That's conviction content. But what triggers those emotions and the desire to do more is because the person that is putting out the content has placed that emotion and that conviction in what they're talking about.
You are so right. Yes, if that makes sense to y'all, go ahead and type in me in the chat now. And also, what I want to mention to that too, let's talk about the action here, because conviction, you have to put action behind it, right? And I know, Meiyoko, you agree with that 100%. What do we think about action? I'm reading this book by Kobe Bryant. Every month I'm reading a new book, and it's an amazing book. And one of the things he said, that you have to be obsessed with what you do. He was great at basketball because he was obsessed with it. So when people see you show up all the time, when people see you're not just showing up, but you're commenting under their posts. I know you do this a lot on LinkedIn, Meiyoko, where you're actually commenting on the other people's content. That shows
Mhm.
how you are obsessed
Right.
over your business and the things that you want to share and the information that you want to contribute to. We
Right.
got to be obsessed, with and be in love with what we do. That shows people how convicted we
Right.
are
And,
in what we do. Yeah.
I know I know we use the word obsession.
Mm-hmm.
It's worked, and it really it emphasizes, it hammers the thing home, the principle
Mm-hmm.
home, right? But the reality of it is we use a lot of different words for something that means something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Obsession you can use, but isn't it that we have a conviction about
Yeah.
something.
You want to help people.
When you have a conviction about something, it becomes a part of you. It becomes
Yes.
almost organic, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like, since you want to use obsession and Kobe Bryant, I feel like Kobe Bryant knew that he can make a huge difference, and
Mm.
basketball was the platform.
That's right.
That
That's
was it.
right.
That was something that he could actually do at such a high level,
Mm-hmm.
in a unique way, that it
Mm-hmm.
set himself apart. Like, he was the first person at the gym and the last person to leave,
Mm-hmm.
because
That's right.
he had a conviction.
Mm-hmm.
He had a conviction. So it was him against him every single
Mm-hmm.
day.
Every single time.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it was not about competing with other people. It
Mm-mm.
was really
Nope.
about being better the next day than he was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So we may call it an obsession, because yes, it's a meticulous, consistent drive,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but what it really is, it's a conviction.
It's a conviction, and that's what it is. And I feel like we can become, there's healthy obsession and there's not healthy obsession. You know what I'm saying? There's healthy conviction, there's not healthy conviction. We could be on the other side of entrepreneurship. There's a lot of people that could just be convicted in entrepreneurship to complaining, and that's not a good road either. So again, conviction content wins. Again, that's
Absolutely.
where your beliefs, your viewpoint, your thoughts take center stage. And with Kobe, it was on the court. With y'all watching, it could be on social media, it could be at an in-person event, it could be at a summit, wherever you feel the most comfortable showing, or wherever you feel that the people who need what you have to offer are.
Right.
Okay. So I love this point. All right, let's go into the second thing. Right, again, we may have to do a part two, because I really want to just touch on these.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, you need to stop saying we may have to do a part two.
Yeah, we will do a part two. We will do a part
We
two.
have because there's so much you can even pull out of conviction content.
Mm-hmm.
It's more to that.
Mm-hmm.
We can go
Mm-hmm.
into
Yes, because we have two other points. But
right.
we're going to get to those later. But let's dive into transformational and relatable. Let's first talk about transformational content. I was looking up the word transformational content. It says the dictionary term is moves people from awareness, like, hey, I'm aware, to actually taking action.
Right. It's a
You know,
change.
it's a
It's a
change
change.
shift. It's
It's a
that
shift.
it's from
So
when the road starts to go from this to boop.
right. So that content is something where you see, where it
Yeah,
says, hey, it's causing some type of shift in your life, a
yeah.
shift to do something. But transformational content doesn't work without conviction content. They work hand in hand.
Mm, it ties
You
in.
you you are not going to have the drive to transform, or the drive to want to change,
Right.
if you're not convicted in doing so.
Amen.
That's why conviction content is very, very important.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is relatable content. So if I had to sum this up, the difference between transformational content and relatable content is, transformational content is, I'm making the change.
Mm-hmm.
Relatable content is, because I listen to you, I know that I'm able to make the change.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
relatable content. It's seeing
Man,
you
broke
and
it right
seeing what you're
down.
talking about, seeing your
Mm-hmm.
conviction, seeing those particular things, and saying, hey, you know what? I actually believe that I can change now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm convicted. I believe I can change. I relate to this experience. I relate to this person. Now I am more likely to take action now that all three of these things are in place.
That's right. That's right. I love that. And diving more deeper into, like, hey, what's more examples of transformational content? It's the how to,
Mhm.
it's the here's how. It boils down. Hey, Toya,
Hey,
girl, you
Toya, how
better
you
get your
doing?
ticket. it boils down to what mindset shift have you made or help somebody make for others. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That mindset shift. You
Oh,
know, go ahead.
Shoshana has a good question.
Oh yes,
We
but
gotta cover it. So
let's cover it.
but you can start with relatable content as well. No. Yes, you can. So you can start with man, this is a training. You can start with relatable content. You can start with relatable content first, and people will actually start to connect with you and relate to you and identify with you.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not convicted yet.
They're not convicted yet. That's true.
So they may start to follow you. They may start to gain an understanding and experience of where you've been and your, you know, a little bit about your belief, a little bit about your principles, but you're connecting. So you're connecting first at this particular time. Oh, you know what? This person was like me back in the day. Oh, you know what? I can do this, but you haven't said anything to really convict them yet.
Right.
They don't have the drive yet to actually take the action, but they're connecting to your message, which is good. So yes, you can start with relatable content first. I recommend starting with conviction content because you are setting the stage and setting the foundation for who you are, why you're doing what you're doing, why you believe this. And it's like your overall methodology, your whole, that's what thought leadership is about. Thought leadership is not about putting relatable content first. Thought leadership is constantly having your conviction in the forefront.
That's right.
Like
That's
for
right.
example, I am a proponent of emotional intelligence. Anybody that knows me,
oh yes, he is.
I am very. If you want to say I'm obsessed, I am very obsessed with understanding emotions, how people communicate, why we misunderstand each other.
He's a master at that.
Like I'm literally trying to coin emotional intelligent leadership as a whole different genre, a whole different area of leadership because it's that important to me.
Very true.
So people see my conviction, they see it in my speech, my content, my conversations. So now it causes them to look at their own emotions, how they interact, their own relationships. So that conviction is there. Then I start to share a little bit of my story, more of my story to connect with them, to make it more relatable. And then I go to a how-to. Okay, you know what? Do you know the difference between controlled language and centered language? No, I don't. Well, I'm going to show you the difference. And then I'm going to show you how to shift from controlled language to centered language.
Right.
Now it's just like, oh, man, that's really transformational. I'm going to go apply that. Right. So this is how all this works. And the cool thing about it is all you're doing is you are establishing your know, like, and trust factor.
Yeah. Yeah.
With these 3 types of content.
Yeah. And we, especially, I have to really attest to that. What Meiyoko said, he's definitely the master at that. Going back to Shoshana's comment. Sorry, if you are on stage or if you're or social media, all the things, people don't know you yet. So conviction works best first, and then you get to the relatable side because again, that conviction part pulls them in. Right. And the relatable part, which you're going to cover in just a second. Okay. That's what gets people to buy.
Oh, they're
so,
active in the comments. It's
active. A formula. It's a formula, guys.
So Shoshana says relatable equals Y net.
Yes.
Yes and no. Yes and no. So you can have a lot of people that relate to you. Right. So that's a yes.
I see it all the time.
Net. It's a Y net. However, your ideal client must relate to you as well.
Yeah.
So that's more targeted. So they can relate to you on a wider scale. And then as I start to dial in that relatability, now people start to taper off.
Yeah.
Now you have a certain group that relate to you in a more targeted way.
Right. Oh God, this is so good. It's so
really,
true.
This is really good. This is actually, you did your thing with this one because this
thank you.
This is really, really good. I think focusing on this content, dialing in on these 3 types of content, it'll definitely help your messaging and you will make a lot more money and get a lot more clients.
Right.
And get a lot more clear in your messaging. This was really good.
Yes, yes. And I'm proud of Shoshana because she's going to be in person on the 16th
Yeah,
joining
Shoshana,
us.
we might have to
Yes.
dial into this a little bit more.
Yes, yes. I think definitely pulling her aside if we have time on the 16th would be good too for her. And Toya, we waiting for you, sis. Get your virtual ticket
Come
number.
on, Toya.
Yes, we wait for you. Yes. So let's dive into the last point, which is relatable. And
Yes.
everything else we plan on discussing, guys, we'll do a part 2 next week because I want us to end on the relatable side. So when you think relatable, it's like me too. It's like, yes,
That's
you've
it.
been
Me
through
too.
that
Me
too.
too.
Yes,
Me too.
yes, I've been through whatever it is, you are connected to what the problem, you're connected to that. That's why people talked about lived experience and all that, right? Shared
Mhm.
or lived experience. With relatability though, and I'm gonna raise my hand because this was relatability was, even though that y'all who watch me are probably surprised, like, Tisha, really, you feel you haven't been all the way relatable? No, because I for the past couple of years, or before I started working with Meiyoko, I wasn't all the way authentic. You know what I'm saying? With my experiences, with all the things I was going through, with the things that I've survived from, and things like that.
Mhm.
And so I will always, I shared this with Miyoko over a year ago. I will always start and stop at a certain point. It's like, okay, I'll go down this street, but I'm not turning on Elderberry Lane, right? So, so relatability works when you are authentic. Okay, and that has helped my business tremendously. The second thing is it works, and I'm gonna raise my hand on this too. One thing that I was not doing before was being vulnerable.
Because you
Y'all,
were
I'm a
wearing a mask. You were
I'm a
wearing a mask.
crier. I'm at all the things, but I was putting on this strong build, this strong exterior, and the mask. Yeah, the mask. Yes, I love that. And it kept me from moving to that next level personally. Right? I know y'all may say, well, when did it stop you from moving to the next level in business? Yes, it has, but I had to start off first with Leticia.
Right.
Right. So I want to again thank you for that experience. So relatability is all about being more authentic, being more vulnerable, sharing your lived experience. And why is this helpful? Like I said before, people buy from people they can relate to. They can
Absolutely.
relate to. So yes, go ahead, Miyoko.
People buy, people form friendships,
Mm-hmm.
business partnerships,
Mm-hmm.
relationships. I mean, relatability creates connection,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Make sure you write that down.
Mm-hmm.
Relatability creates connection.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Conviction creates community,
Mm-hmm.
and transformation creates clients.
Clients. Yes. Amen. Amen.
Relatability creates connection.
Mm-hmm.
Conviction, type it in the
Mm.
chat if you listen.
Listen, I told y'all take notes. This is heavy.
Conviction creates community,
Mm-hmm.
and transformation creates clients.
100%. 100%. And as I was diving into the relatability side, there was three things that came up, examples of how we could be more relatable in a social space is sharing more of the behind the scenes, the BTCs, if you will, right?
Mhm.
Sharing more of what we learned out of I'm laughing because I'm like, Tisha, you gotta do this more. And also a day in the life, you know, a day in the life. So day in the life content, those are the things that if you go on YouTube, Instagram, you see those type of videos, you know what I mean, that people
Mhm.
share and we
Right.
watch them, we binge watch them. I know there's a lot of people I watch like that. I'm like, wow, So again, y'all, conviction, transformational, relatable. Those are the three types of content. It's like I said earlier, there's more, but those are the three types of content that I feel are the top three
Right.
in my
And I
book
would
that's going to help
probably
create your
I
book.
would probably shift the relatable, put it in the middle. I would put it in the
Yeah.
middle because
Okay.
I would do community.
Mm-hmm.
I would do
Conviction. No.
I would do community. I would put
It's
connection,
really good.
and I put clients.
He meant conviction. You said change it. What?
Yeah, I would probably put the transformational last.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you can use the conviction and the relatable kind of interchangeable.
Yes, you
You
can.
know, you can use
You can.
relatable first, like Shoshana said. Then you
Mm-hmm.
have conviction content, then transformational,
Mm-hmm.
or you can do conviction first, relatable. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that transformational is always that once they're connected, once they're feeling a sense of community, now when you start to do the how to's and you start to do the more strategic things, now it's just like, okay, I want to work with this guy. I
Yeah.
want to work with this woman.
And I love we're having this conversation of aligning each point, because I also feel, Miyoko, it depends on who you're speaking to too. What at what part of the
Absolutely.
process?
Yep.
Because
Yep.
honestly though, I could sit with somebody and say, no, let's first talk about the transformation.
Correct.
Because that
Correct.
at that point of
Correct.
the stage, they need to see that. Then I could speak to somebody else and could be the conviction. So again, y'all, it also ties into at what
This is
point,
a whole training
yeah, that you need to use
and a framework.
those things first. So that's what I want to say to that, because I was actually on a class earlier and they talked about that as well. It does depend upon at what point who you're talking to
Right.
first,
We got to throw this into a framework. We really
a
do.
framework.
Good.
Absolutely. So it's like a circle, really. It's more of like what part, who you're sitting down with and say, okay, let me pull the conviction card here,
Right.
because this is what she needs. Or the another person who probably doesn't know you yet, it's like, okay, let me first dive into what, then you'll hit the relatable card. So yeah, this is a framework, just like Meiyoko said. If y'all got any value out of this, go ahead and type me in the chat, and also tag people on here and share it out, because I feel like this is a whole master. This is a high level conversation.
This is a high level conversation. It's a master class.
Yes.
It's something that you can really dive even deeper into. And we're going to, because this is a framework.
Mm-hmm.
I had a framework on messaging, but I actually like this a lot better because it's more
Dang
it's more
it!
simplistic,
Right.
and it's a process. And depending on where they're at on their journey, is the type of content you use. So this you did your thing on this
I'm
one.
proud. Oh my God. I got chills, because I was literally like moving stuff around, y'all. So
No,
again,
you did your
I
thing on this one.
yes, thank you so much for that. So again, I really appreciate you guys hopping on. More importantly, I love and appreciate how you guys were commenting and engaging in the chat. That's what we love, and that's why we show up here, because we want to help you guys. We want y'all to walk away with good value. And like I said earlier, what is the one thing? And I'm
See you
actually
later,
going to
Shoshana.
I'm gonna wait for an answer for this. What is the one thing you're going to take action on from watching this? What piece of information what value information you've gotten from listening, that you're going to say, hey, I'm going to actually do this today. I'm gonna do more of conviction. I'm gonna do more of transformational content. I'm gonna do more of relatable content. Y'all go ahead and share what it is that you want to move forward with and take action on
Other
starting
than
now.
purchasing a ticket.
Yes, other than make sure you grab your ticket. That's number one. Grab your ticket, and what's the next thing? Shoshana said, "Great training. Thank you. Have to hop off now." Okay, love. Yes, 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 yes. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, sis. So again, don't forget to let's talk about the tour for a second. Let's talk about the tour for a second. For those of you who are interested in grabbing your ticket, all right, make sure you head on over to yourbrandyourbreakthrough.com. Get your ticket. Get your ticket as soon as possible. We have in-person tickets, we have live stream tickets. We only have 4 seats left.
Four
Four
left.
seats left for in person. Okay, only 4. So if you're thinking of coming to New York on August 16th, which you should, okay, it's good to get outside the house and get in front of more people, right? Make sure you head on over and grab your in person, okay? If you can't attend in person, definitely join us virtually. Get your virtual ticket, okay? Your Brain, Your Breakthrough.com. We're going to dive way more deeper into these points, okay, at the tour. Way more deeper into these points at the tour. So for those of you who already grabbed your ticket, congratulations, congrats. We can't wait to see you guys, whether it's in person or virtual. But if you have not yet, if you're on the fence, get off the fence. Get off that fence, honey. Okay? And go head on over to the site here and grab your ticket, all right? So, oh, I love this conversation. I don't know if y'all did. Y'all let us know in the chat if you did. This is a really good conversation. So we'll see y'all next week. All right. We'll see y'all next week. And thank y'all for watching.
All right.
Yes.
See
Thank
everybody
y'all
later.
for watching. Bye, guys.